Look at those cute kittens.
That's us.
What a choice.
Look how cute we are. That's you in the back. Just keeping an eye on things.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us in our monthly chat. I'm going to go ahead and kick us off, and then I'm going to hand it on over to Elizabeth and the Amandas. Um, so I'm Brittany. I'm the executive director for Best Friends in LA. We have Elizabeth, who is the senior manager. Elizabeth, were you on our last call as the senior manager? Okay. Time is just flying by. And then Amanda Farah, I think all of you know Amanda. She's been on these meetings with us before. She is our national training and behavior coordinator. And then an old familiar name and face to many of you, I think, is Amanda Yoakum. So she is back with us as our volunteer coordinator. So we're super excited to have Amanda back. And then just a little run through of what we're going to cover in this meeting. We will go over some updates from the community engagement team. I will give you some of the construction updates for West LA. We'll go over the new dog behavior categories. And then, of course, we'll talk about some upcoming events. Okay, so our new community engagement team members, like I just said, Amanda, she is back. She is our volunteer coordinator. We are so excited to have Amanda back. I think many of you know Amanda had been with Best Friends for like 100 years, roughly, Amanda, right? Like feels like your entire life.
Just short of 100 years.
Sure. So Amanda was with us at Mission Hills, has a ton of experience, obviously, in animal welfare, a ton of dog experience, has been building up her cat experience. So many of you will be happy to hear that as well. And so we're really excited to have her back on site with us. And then another familiar name to all of you should be is Anna Polito. So she is currently our dog in our on our dog foster team, but she has recently accepted the position of community engagement manager. We're so excited for her to take on that new role. Elizabeth, when is that officially starting?
March 10th.
March 10th. And is Anna on the call?
Yes, she is.
Cool. Hey, Anna, do you want to give a little intro for some folks who might not know you?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name's Anna. This is Apollo. He's going to be joining us, of course. And yeah, I joined Best Friends a little over 2 years ago. And I was on the dog team at Mission Hills, and now the foster coordinator here at West LA. And I'm really excited to be on the community engagement team, starting in about a week and a half. Most of my experience is with dogs, but as you can see, I'm also learning a lot about cats, which is great. So I'm really excited to work with everybody on both sides.
Awesome. And then Amanda, same for you, for the volunteers on the call that might not know you. You want to do a little intro for yourself?
Sure. I mean, I think you did a really good job explaining my background with Best Friends, but yeah, I've been there for a long time, about 10 years to be exact. But it does feel like 100 years at this point. But yeah, I'm, not new to the organization, but I am new to the facility. And, newer to working, alongside cat volunteers. Since my, majority of my experience is, dog related and stuff like that. So just like Anna had mentioned, I'm kind of excited to kind of be working with both sides and kind of working alongside you guys a little bit more closely.
Awesome. And Catherine, I see you asked in the chat who will be leading the dog foster team. So we still have Kelly Flores, who is on that team. Marcella is the supervisor. Tabitha is still the manager, and they will be backfilling Anna's position to ensure that we're still doing all of the amazing work that Kelly and Anna have been doing in our time there. So good question.
Yeah, and for those of you who are used to kind of thinking about the volunteer team, the community engagement team encompasses volunteers, events, our shelter partnerships, our NKLA coalition, our outreach, elevating our visibility in the community, everything that involves working with the public and our shelter partners. So you guys are such a huge, huge piece of that. But our small but mighty team works pretty broadly and yet very closely with the foster team, with the care team, with admissions, with outcomes, with adoptions. The whole Best Friends LA team is very close. And so it's nice when we can move people around within Best Friends LA, because like we have now with Anna and with Amanda, there's so much institutional knowledge and history about our organization and about specifically the work we do in LA. And so we're really lucky to have both of them, and I'm very, very happy about it. So welcome officially. Okay. Construction.
Construction updates. Okay, so our current phase that we're in, phase one, that is the kitten nursery and some of the quarantine kind of medical space downstairs. We should be done with that phase about mid-March. So we are waiting on just a few things to be buttoned up in the row downstairs. And then our new custom shoreline kennels that are being installed in the nursery are set to ship out on March 8th. So we're hoping that those will arrive on time and get installed. And then once we're done with that phase, we are going to take about a 1 to 2 week break. So it just gives us an opportunity to kind of move things around before they start on the next phase of construction. So what that will entail is obviously moving the nursery back upstairs. Then we are going to be using the community room as our interim medical space. We're getting a brand new x-ray machine, and the community room is currently the only place that will be able to deal with the x-ray machine's electrical needs. So we're going to be using that space in the interim while they're building out our amazing clinic. So that phase two, is supposed to take about 12 weeks. Little side note, the first phase was only supposed to take 6 to 8 weeks, and that started October 13th. So we are going to assume that the biggest part of the project, phase two, is going to take longer than 12 weeks. But it is all good. That's why we're moving stuff around, so we can make sure that, there's not a lull in intake, that there's not a lull in medical, and we're able to continue our life-saving work while all of this construction is going on. So we will continue to keep you all posted as these things develop. But of course, if you have any questions in the meantime, you can let any of us know.
And it looks like Susan has a question.
Yeah, so if the nursery is going to be moving back upstairs, will the cats in the community room go to that green room in the back?
So the cats in the community room will be moving upstairs, and then when we pop up, if we need to pop up more towers, we are anticipating, obviously we'll have Kitty City again and things like that in the green room. We're waiting to move the cats in the community room until after the nursery is completely moved. We want to make sure that when they're installing the shorelines and all of that, that's not going to, make any of the cats in those rooms unhappy. So we are waiting to fill those rooms until the shorelines are completely moved in.
Any other questions about that? Oh, okay. New dog behavior categories. This is exciting. So I'm going to hand this over to the Amandas. Yes.
I got so many fantastic updates on how this is going for staff and volunteers today that I'm super, super happy. So as of March 1st, our organizational policy on dog safety changes from 7 or 8 different scattered paw systems to one standardized system. I hope everyone's had a chance to become familiar with it and start your training if you're working with dogs. If you haven't had a chance to finish your training, you won't be able to walk the same dogs that you have been walking or dogs at all until those trainings are done. I think Amanda Yoakum is working on some other things for dog volunteers to do if that's the case. So black, gray, and blue will no longer apply, the paw system. Confusingly, blue and gray are still in there, but they don't mean the same thing. So grays are new dogs. Green are dogs who are very pro-social, comfortable with people, like kind of that ideal, non-reactive, happy dog that we don't see a lot considering the stress that happens in shelters sometimes. Blue are a little more wiggly, jumpy guys that might take just a second to get to know you before you take them out. Purple, we see some minor mouthiness and reactivity. Orange are our more challenging kids, and then red are usually awaiting sanctuary transport. So that's how those shake out compared to what you have now. And you'll all be getting new identification. Amanda, do you want to talk more about that?
Sure. So we went ahead and for all the volunteers, new and current that have completed their dog training and evaluations with either myself, Amanda Farah, or Robert Lobo, have badges that like little name tags that will be in the kiosk, I think, where you guys will be signing in once we move everything over. So it's where you're going to be signing out the leashes for now, and then everything will kind of move over there when the kiosk, once the second phase of construction starts. Everything will kind of move over to there, so it'll be in one universal area. But you guys will have your name tags, and it'll have which behavior category you guys are approved to walk. So in addition to your name, obviously.
So
but yeah, I think that's.
Yeah, hopefully this is good news because we know the lanyards were kind of a hassle for some people, and they, you know, they'd get caught on things and you'd have to maybe flip them around. And this way, these are the magnetic kind that won't tear your clothing, won't get in the way, won't get loose. We'll be able to see your names without them getting turned around. And you know, we always want to make sure we can see everybody's names and you can see ours. So we're going to ask that you leave them there, so you don't even have to think about remembering to bring them, and then you can just leave them when you go. And they'll be very easy to update as you achieve those new colors. So yeah, hopefully those will be an improvement on the current system.
I'm really excited about the chance we have to really increase our safety with dogs to prevent those accidental tooth scrapes that can lead to bite quarantine and leave a little stain on their record and make it a challenge to adoptions. So very excited about this.
Yeah, and the Amandas and Robert have been great about helping people do their assessments and get their training done. But if you have any questions, please do reach out to either of them, to Kelly Bennett, who, by the way, we should have said at the beginning, she is out of town for a family wedding this week. So that's why she's not on the call, but she definitely has been working very hard on this. So if you have any questions, she is available to support you and to answer any questions. She's also been working on all of the online trainings and the checklists and getting all of that simplified and available to you. And that was a ton of work. So we're very, very, very grateful to her. And there may still be some glitches that come up. We're working with a platform that is, we haven't done this kind of thing on this platform before. So if there are any glitches, we appreciate your patience, and we'll get them worked out as soon as we can, if that's the case. And there is another slide here about how to manage the checklist. Either Amanda, but probably Amanda Yoakum, do you want to just talk about this real quick?
Sure. So when you guys sign into your digital cheetah, you'll notice next to your calendars, there's a little checklist. You can always refer to the checklist tab to kind of see what your current tasks are that you need to complete in order to get to your evaluation for any given behavior category. So we have the beginner, the intermediate, and the advanced. And so once you complete those tasks, they should automatically check off for you. If you guys have any struggles with that, you can always email Volunteer LA. Sometimes it's just a matter of us checking it off for you. Once you guys complete that, you'll go through and do your eval. So then that way we can get you registered and get your position available on the calendar for you to work with that classification of dogs. Once you have the virtual trainings completed, you'll have the access to the in-person stuff. So sometimes it takes just a little bit to kind of pop up. But you want to make sure that you're registered for the trainings and assessments with the same title as your checklist and current volunteer. So if you are a beginner looking to go to intermediate, you won't be able to access the advanced sign up just yet. But like I said, if you guys have any questions, you can always email us at Volunteer LA. If you need to do a training at a different time. I did just recently add to the calendar a couple dog training positions for Thursdays. That should be reoccurring, so those should be on the calendar for you guys for every Thursday. If you guys need a specific date, we can definitely accommodate with my schedule. I'm there, Thursday through Monday and 8:30 to 5:30. So you can always email Volunteer LA if you need a specific time to set up with us to get that evaluation done for you, especially if you need it done before Friday. So I am there tomorrow. And I have a pretty open schedule tomorrow. So if anybody needs to get in at the last minute so they can continue walking dogs on the 1st, feel free to send us an email.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Does anyone have any other questions about this? We know it's been a change and an adjustment, but really necessary for the safety of everyone, human and dog. And we appreciate that you guys are rolling with it. Susan?
I just noticed Belle had a question in the chat room. It was my question too, about getting some other kind of ID for cat team too. Right now, other than the nursery, we're still using lanyards that fall and get in the way and scare the cats. And I just tuck mine in my shirt, even though it's got my name on it. Nobody can see my name, but I don't want it to get tangled up or, they're just so in the way. And we had talked about getting something around our wrist like a year ago, but nothing ever happened.
Yeah, no, the new magnetic badges are going to be the name tags for all the volunteers, not just the dog team volunteers, because we do recognize that the lanyards are a problem when you're trying to clean or when you're trying to work with the cat. Yeah, so that was the idea. And also, again, making sure that the reason the wrist thing doesn't work is we want to see your names, because sometimes we have new people coming in and they don't know all the volunteers and they want to talk to you guys and thank you for all the hard work you're doing. And we can't do that if we don't, if not everybody knows everybody. So that's the idea with the new magnetic badges, is that they will be the same for everybody.
So any idea about when that might happen?
We have them, we just have to make them. I mean, we have all the badges, we just have to print them out. So it'll be
And
soon.
will the cat team will show I think we still have the same paw colors, right? So does it
Yes.
indicate that or doesn't matter anymore? Or-
Yeah, I think we're more concerned right now about just having the identification right now, but I know that the cat, and Amanda's, feel free to jump in on this, that the dog changes were coming first and the cat changes are going to follow after that.
Correct. Cats are part of, I believe, phase 3. We have some further dog training in phase 2. So you probably, unless I clone myself and some of my teammates, you won't see that this year, but it is coming.
But the name tags will come before that. So you can still have new name tags and we'll just add on the colors and shapes later. So that's a good question, Susan. Thank you very much. Anybody else?
I should just mention something that is relevant to cat volunteers too, and that's that we will have safety station training coming for volunteers once we get past this March 1st hurdle. So quick and easy. There's a cat one and a dog one, but that will be training that'll be relevant to volunteers or to cat volunteers too.
Okay, well, again, if you have any questions or you need a training at a time that isn't showing on the schedule, just reach out to us at Volunteer LA and we will do our best to help out. So just a few admin items. As you know, these meetings are the 4th Wednesday every other month. So the next one will be April 24th. We do send out emails from that same email address. Those are the newsletters, updates on parking, on construction. That's going to be the primary way that we're going to be able to update you. So if you're not receiving those, please let us know. But if you are receiving those, please read them if you get a chance. We try not to bombard you with information, but we do want to keep you in the loop. And then if you want any additional time with any of our team, we would love to sit down and talk to you about any ideas you might have, any concerns you might have. If you want additional training that, will make you feel more comfortable, just again, reach out to that same email address and we would love to do that. So that can be anybody, but don't hesitate to reach out if you'd like a little bit more of a conversation or a training. And then as far as the events, we've had a really busy year already. It's still only February and we've had some great events. Meow Mixer, some of you were here for that. The Puppy Bowl tailgate party, which was super fun and resulted in quite a few adoptions. Doggy date night as well. We had the Arthur is King premiere at the Century City Westfield, which also resulted in several adoptions and a great promotional tie-in with Mark Wahlberg. Thank you to those of you who volunteered at any of these events or any of the others. I know we've had a lot. Ellie Mosser is our event diva, and she is just rolling out those events, large and small. And so, any of those that you're interested in helping out with, we would love to have you. We have something coming up this Saturday, the International Rescue Cat Day, I think it is, not Cat Rescue Day. But that's coming up this Saturday. It's going to be really fun. The cats each cat will be from a different country. People can come in and get their passports stamped and learn a little bit about each country and the cats that come from that country. It's very sweet. And we have a lot of people already signed up to attend that. So that should be fun and hopefully will result in additional adoptions. And then all of the upcoming events are on our events calendar. You can take a look and see what's coming up. And of course, once again, always email volunteerla@bestfriends.org if you have any questions or you want to sign up. We would love to have the support. Any questions on that? I can't see the chat, by the way. So Amanda is monitoring this. One of the Amandas is monitoring this for us. Anything in there, Amanda? Okay.
No, currently.
Okay. And then the last thing that we want to ask of you is we are using our Best Friends in LA Facebook page to really put out to the public our events, our adoption opportunities, our foster opportunities, really using that as the primary way that we share information and try and increase our visibility in LA. And so the more people we can have joining that page, the better. And so if you are still using Facebook, we would love for you to invite your Facebook friends to join that page. The content, as you know, is always very upbeat and positive and sweet and happy, as well as informative. So nobody has to worry about seeing images that they would rather not see. We like to think our page is a nice diversion from all the other stuff that's going on in the world that gets shared on social media. So the more people that we can have join and engage with us, the better. So it's really, really easy. When you go to the Best Friends in LA Facebook page, you'll see there is an invite icon at the top of the page on the right. And all you do is click that and you will see a pop-up that says invite Facebook friends or invite with email. The easiest thing to do is just invite Facebook friends. And when you click on that, you'll see all your Facebook friends with a little box by each one, and you just check the ones that you would like to invite, and Facebook does the rest. It's really, really easy. It takes about 5 minutes. We've been able to, just between a few people, increase our membership to that page by 80% from where we were last month. So if you're willing to do that, we would really appreciate it. We promise to only continue to share the happy news, and it does help us showcase some of our adoptable animals and bring more people into the center to adopt and foster and get resources. And so we would appreciate it if you would help us out with that. And I think that's it, except just, again, a reminder of how to find out what's happening with Best Friends LA and the volunteer opportunities. We have the every other month check-ins like the one we're doing now. We have the digital newsletter, the volunteer Trello board, the Facebook public group, and the Facebook volunteer page. And then the emails that we send out periodically to update you. And then, of course, as I just mentioned, in-person opportunities to connect with our team are always available to you. So if you are looking for a little bit more FaceTime with us, we would love to have that FaceTime with you. And yeah, there it is. So I do know that we had one question from Belle that was submitted online. Belle, are you on the call, or would you like me to read the question that you sent? In fact, I'll stop sharing my screen.
I am on the call, and
Well,
I actually have 2 questions
okay.
that I submitted.
Yeah, I see them both, but why don't you go ahead and ask them since you're here?
Okay, well, one of them was around the whole bonded pair situation that we had. It was, hot. Well, it's still a very hot topic in my personal opinion. That was brought up and raised a few months ago with kind of a sad return situation. So that's what kind of started the whole situation. And then we had a wonderful informative session from Sam Bell that was very valuable about behavior, etc. And I'm just really curious. We haven't really heard anything from about policy, procedure, process. And so I felt like I wanted to bring it back up and see where we are in moving that along and how we can support that as volunteers.
Yeah, that's a great question. So when Sam did that webinar, she did mention that this was the very, very beginning phase of this conversation, and no policies had been developed. She was really just kind of sharing it at the initial stage to get your feedback and to get to kind of brainstorm, really. So I know that she's still working on that. Nothing has been formalized yet. It's really, it's a new way of thinking about this topic. So there aren't any policies already developed anywhere within Best Friends, but I know that's something that she has been working on with Jackson Galaxy, and hopefully we'll have something soon. So that was really just a preemptive conversation to kind of get your feedback and let you know that this was something she was thinking about. I thought it was really exciting and interesting. And I think that what does come out of it is going to be really important. But as of this point right now, there isn't anything concrete to share.
And I just want to add to that because Belle, I know that you and I talked about this specifically. I know that the team had talked through like setting up a tracker and had separated some of the cats that we had previously listed as bonded pairs to see, and this was at Sam's instruction, to see if they were truly bonded. So I will find out from Jonathan, Natalie, and Crystal if that has been an ongoing tracker, because I know when we had talked about it originally, it was going to be something that we were going to have on the kennels so volunteers could assist in tracking any of those behavior changes if we were recognizing them. So I will follow up on that and make sure that we update you all as well.
Great, thank you. Can I go with my second question?
Absolutely.
Okay, so second piece is the Best Friends LA website. I get a lot of the public coming in with asking where a cat is based on who they saw on the website. And way more traction from them viewing the website than ever Facebook or any other social media site. And so that's just proof that the public is going to the website and checking out adoptable animals. And so I had a situation a couple of weeks ago where this delightful woman came in and said, "Where's so-and-so cat? Cat's in foster." So she had driven actually quite a long way to try and find a cat, bless her heart. And so I feel like there's such a great opportunity for a couple of things from a website perspective. One is, if we do have a cat or dog in foster, can there be a big bold banner on their profile saying, "I'm in foster"? So A, that. B, are there any foster notes that we can add to their profile to help them? Because people read profiles. They want to get a little idea of the cat. I've heard that many times that they do that. And the other thing too is that I'm also noticing on the website that many of the cats don't even have a profile description. And again, I know working with the public, they often ask, "Where's the cat?" They like the descriptions. And so once I know the cat, I'm very open to giving a profile on the cat on the website. I would love to do that. But I just think those are some opportunities from a website perspective that I think could really, really help these cats and dogs from a fostering perspective, and getting some more descriptions in their profiles. So that was my other question, all.
So the first thing that I want to mention I know that the picture also has been a challenge. So
Yes,
I just want to point that out.
Good point, Brittany.
The elephant in the room. I know that there has been a lot of challenges with that, and it has been driving us crazy. And I know that we have said multiple times it's an IT thing. So we are looking to actually not change our Shelter Love platform, but change a platform that basically is in the middle of Shelter Love and our website, because that seems to be the problem when we go to upload a photo and then Lori comes and takes her beautiful photos and we just have our like, intake photo. When she goes to replace that, she can't remove the photo and replace it. So it sounds like we're going to be getting rid of that kind of middleman. So we can more easily swap photos out on the website. So that's one thing. The other thing about the foster banner, love that idea. We will have to check and see if that's something that if, we tag the animal in Shelter Love to say that that animal is in foster. I don't know how there would be a connection on the website, or if that's something that we would have to go in and manually do on the back end. So Elizabeth, that's something that we should try and follow up on, maybe with the IT team as well. The bios. So I know that when we have an animal there for a certain amount of time, we try and update the bio. When it comes to kittens, we're like,
Right.
it's a kitten, like.
Oh no,
there's-
absolutely agreed. I think these are for the
But,
adult cats and even I'm speaking for the cats. I'm not sure about the dogs, but the adult cats, that especially those who have been there a while.
Yeah. And if that is something that you are willing to do, we would love that, to have an updated bio. We had a member of our national operations team come out, I believe it was last week, and this person's goal was to really try and help us to lower length of stay and streamline some of the operations that we're already doing. So making intake exams faster, getting animals into Shelter Love more quickly, all in line to get animals out more quickly. And bios was a big part of that. So we did create a new SOP, and it should be rolling out next week on outcome pathways and intake exams. So I think this is a great time to try and get some additional support when it comes to writing those bios. So I can follow up with you separately, Belle, on how, who you should be sending those to so they can get uploaded into Shelter Love.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you, Belle. Those are great questions. Appreciate
My pleasure. Anything for the cats.
Jim, you have a question.
Yes, thank you. Unfortunately, I'm in the about the second week of 6 weeks, fractured a foot, and so that means that I'm out of action. Of course, I had planned to be mobile in March, but that didn't happen. So I think the question, I know there are some of the other parts of this operation I'm involved in that I could probably do from home. Desk and phone, but obviously I have to stay off my foot. So I think the question I have, if any of us become temporarily unable to walk dogs or deal with cats, are there other things that we can do, especially when, we might be in a cast or a boot?
Absolutely. I'm so glad you asked that, because we have been sitting down and looking at very specific volunteer kind of descriptions, opportunities for things like that, even things that don't apply to dogs or cats, because some people want to volunteer and they don't actually want to have hands-on experience with any of the animals, but they want to contribute in some other way, whether it's on site or from home. So what I would love to do is connect with you directly to talk about some of the options that you might have in mind that might sync with what we have in mind. But we are in the process of building out some very specific volunteer opportunities that people who can't come on site or I'm sorry, in your situation, heal quickly, heal well. I hope it wasn't animal related. But people that
No,
for whatever
wasn't.
reason can't volunteer on site or walk dogs or do the things they normally do, because we know that you still want to help out, and we still want you around. So we'll connect with you directly, but know that those are coming.
Thank you.
Sure.
And then Elizabeth, we had a question in the chat from Catherine, in regards to, when the cats or animals are in foster, how does the person get to meet the cat?
That's a good question. We generally ask the foster to bring the cat in for a meet and greet. We also have things like Spring Fling and Meow Mixer, opportunities for all fosters to come and bring their animals when people can see them. People can see them all at once if they're not doing those individual meet and greets.
We've also had fosters who will set up meet and greets on their own, because we know it can be very stressful for a cat to come back to the center. Oreo, case in point. So, you know, there are fosters who will set up meet and greets on their own and then do it that way. And sorry, Catherine, I cut you off.
No, that's okay. I was looking for the raise hand thing. My question was kind of a follow-on to Belle's when she mentioned that this person came to the center and they had traveled, you know, a fair distance just to learn that the cat was in foster. So again, that banner on the website or whatever, so that they know, and then, you know, say, you know, how do we set it up for them to have the meet and greet, and anyway, just to avoid someone making an unnecessary trip.
Yeah, I think there's a couple things. One is that not everybody's comfortable having people come to their home. And so we don't expect people to automatically do that. If they want to do that, that's great. But we want to provide the center as an opportunity to do something, you know, that's not in their own home. The other thing is, I mean, ideally, somebody would call and make sure that an animal was on site before they made the drive, because for all they know, it could have been adopted that morning and not yet taken off the website. So it's a bummer to hear that somebody did make that drive. I know that, you know, I wouldn't make that drive without calling first, not knowing how often a website gets updated. But I understand that, you know, it does make sense to have something on the website, which is where people go to see all the animals at once, right? To have something noted that they are in foster. And if it's something we can update easily, knowing that animals go into foster, they come back from foster, they, you know, we would need to update that pretty much in real time. But if we can do it easily, I think it's a great idea, and we should do that. No.
Yeah, and then with something that says, you know, call us for a meet and greet or something.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, maybe even if, because I was looking at the chat that Lisa had said that she would do questionnaire or enter the questionnaires, you know, even if we put a note in their bio that the animal is in foster, that would show up on the website. And then that's something that we can control. We would just need to make sure that when the animal is returned from foster, that we delete that from their bio. So there's, you know, a little bit of management that goes into that. But I think if it's something that happens fairly often and there's not a way that we can automate it onto the website, that might be an option too. Or especially if we know, you know, we have some that we know are going to be in a longer term foster, it might be worth putting that in their bio.
Well, and I wonder if it wouldn't make sense to have something on the website that says, if you're interested in a particular animal, please call us, to make, you know, just a reminder that people might want to call and check to be sure the animal's on site or hasn't been adopted before making the trip. I don't know. We can talk about that for sure. But Carla, I see your hand is up.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to mention, I passed my test and everything, but I will be out of town the next 4 weekends, which is when I normally come in to walk. And I am more than willing to commit time to do stuff from home in the evenings. if anybody has anything they need done, because I feel bad that I'm not coming in and I want to help. So
Aw, that's
if
so
you, I'll write my number in the chat for you, and please give me a call.
Thank you, Carla. That's awesome. Do we have any other questions?
We had another question in the chat in regards to the kitten nursery shifts coming back from Erica. Do we know anything about any updates on kitten nursery shifts coming back anytime soon?
We wait for kitten season to end and then we're like, no, bring it back. Even the nursery staff is like, Dave, bring whatever you can from the shelters. So typically those shifts come back around April. With the shift, I'm not positive, so don't like hold me to that. With the shift moving from the green room up to the nursery space. So we can find out. I mean, right now it's just that, you know, we're not getting a ton of kittens in, and everything that we are getting in, we're able to move very quickly to foster, which is great. So we will make sure that we send that out. I think, you know, normally we start some retrains in March, and then we open up those shifts in April. And actually, I'm gonna plug the new intake SOP again. I know when we had originally tried to make the switch from a kitten nursery to a kitten care center at Mission Hills, we talked a lot about volunteers having some even more opportunities to assist in the nursery. So we're really gonna try and get some more of you on board with doing things like intake exams and helping with foster trainings and things like that, foster mentorship. So if that is something that you all are interested in doing, that would be wonderful. We try and onboard new medical fosters every year. Some people are very comfortable giving, you know, fluids and things like that. And so if we can get more of those fosters, that would be wonderful. So if anyone is willing to help with some of those trainings, please let us know.
Thanks, Brittany.
Any other questions? Susan.
There was one. Oh, there. Okay, yeah. Go for Susan first. But there's one in the chat.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was going to say there was something in the chat about how we used to have a place to make notes when we were working with socializing cats, to comment, so-and-so really responds to this or that. And someone in the chat room, I think it was Lisa, was saying what happened to those, and you know, isn't that a great source of information about the cats? And also maybe so you could look at someone else's notes and know that they don't like something before you start working with them.
Yeah. I'm not sure why those went away. Do you know
I
when
neither.
they went away?
They went away about a year ago,
Huh.
maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So-
wrote that message.
Did we have them at West LA originally and then they were gone? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I will, we'll find out about that too, because I do think that that would be very helpful, especially when we're talking about bios and things like that. It would be helpful to have those notes.
Absolutely.
They also used to enter the information on those forms into Shelter Love, so it went with the cat's whole profile.
Hey.
I just want to chime in here. I think we are trying to develop something more uniform for cats and dogs to start doing that. We did have those feedback forms at Mission Hills. And with this new, we are prioritizing getting notes on all of the new animals. So we are working on bringing that kind of form back in a way that makes sense. And So I'm pretty sure care team should have something soon.
Great. Thank you, Anna.
Yeah, if I can just say, I think that that's absolutely vital. When I was up in Fresno as part of the emergency team response, and I realized City of Fresno was just taking over the shelter. But the entire time I was in there, I was going in blind. There was nothing about an animal, so I didn't know its level or whether it was a door dasher until it tried, obviously, to dash on me or, other things. So that type of information is I think, crucial, vital, necessary, and be happy to see it again. And to Fresno's credit, they did listen to us and started doing that on our way out as we were leaving.
Yeah, so we do have that information on the dog whiteboards. Some of the things, there's, coded 2-letter codes that have the menu of what, the glossary of what those are next to them. But we certainly can expand, and it sounds from Anna like we are looking to expand the volunteers' ability to add to those notes. And certainly for the cats, I agree 100%. It would be really good for a volunteer who's coming to work with a cat or clean one of the towers to know information that another volunteer might have, learned, and that there should be a way for everybody to see those notes and include those notes in their bios or at least in Shelter Love. So all really, really good ideas. And Anna, can you please show us? So Anna is fostering those 2 Highlander cats we got in, the 44 pounds of combined cat that you may have seen in the free roaming room. They're now in Anna's, sound like they're on Anna's lap, as well as in her house, but they are just massive polydactyl, ridiculously cute hunks of burning love, and she has them in her house right now.
And they hang out with her dog and her bunny.
I mean, they are the size of dogs. They may be bigger than your dog, but they are so cute.
Truly, please tell your friends. They're incredible. They're super social, super sweet. We haven't gotten any real interest, and if they stay much longer, I'm going to keep them forever. So please help me find homes for these amazing cats.
They look great. The Rams do need new mascots.
Well, these would be them. Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
Any other questions before we wrap up? We're just about out of time.
Erica
we
just
have one
asked
more
in the chat, about could staff changes be part of the volunteer emails? New person coming to the team or someone is moving to a different position specific.
Yes, absolutely. We will include those. We've also been posting those on the Facebook volunteer page. But knowing that not everybody is seeing those or using Facebook, we definitely will make a note to include those in the newsletters. Thank you. Good suggestion.
I mean, Sophia snuck one in. We'll be having a kitten shower like we've had in the past. Do you know, EO, if Ellie has planned anything? I imagine yes, we will be having a kitten shower. We do.
Yes. I think, yes, I do recall that we have something coming up in the spring. Lots and lots of cat events and kitten events coming up in the spring and summer, but I do know that she is planning a kitten shower. It may not be at exactly the same time as it was last year because I think it conflicted with something else that we have planned, but it'll be close. And yes, it will be raining kittens at Best Friends LA. So watch the calendar and ask any questions if you have some ideas about other events or any other great suggestions like the ones you had tonight. We really, really appreciate it. And we appreciate you for everything that you're doing. Brittany, any other wise words before we go?
Nope, perfect timing because my little hurricane children just got home and you will be hearing them screaming in the background shortly. So no, we appreciate all of you coming. We'll definitely follow up on some of those questions and make sure that we get back to you all. And again, if anything comes up, please just let us know. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, so much. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.